Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to call to order the January 12th, 2026 regular council meeting for the town of Three Rivers. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is unceded Mi'kmaq territory. Epuwic, Prince Edward Island, Mi'kmaq is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. Before we begin, I would like to make an appointment to our planning board. I'd like to appoint Mr. David McGuire to the Three Rivers Planning Board. We thank David for taking us up on our offer, and we'll probably see him at the next planning board. Moving on. Before we begin, I just want to highlight the purpose of our roles here. We strive to uphold the values of Three Rivers community innovation and inclusion. We have a special town, and council is committed to contributing to sustainable growth. Council meetings are essential to our governance process, providing transparency in decision making. Elected officials discuss finances, events, town maintenance, design, and bylaws, then vote on proposals. As mayor, I lead the council and break tie votes if needed. Residents are encouraged to attend and participate, ensuring everyone can be part of the governance process. We value your input and aim to maintain a respectful and professional environment. Personal attacks and disruptions won't be tolerated. So let us make these meetings a reflection of our pride in Three Rivers. Also, I want everyone to please note the meeting is being officially recorded by the town of Three Rivers, and any unauthorized recordings, photographing, or broadcasting of these proceedings is not permitted without the consent of the CAO. And I thank you for your respect and participation in our meetings. I'll ask for an approval of our agenda for tonight. Moved by Councillor Spin, second by Councillor McFarland. Any comments on the agenda additions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carried. Move on to 3, which is disclosure of conflict of interest. Is anybody in conflict on any of the items on our agenda this evening? No? Okay, we'll move to number 4, which is on page 3, adoption of the draft, December 11th, 2025 regular council meetings. So the motion is that the minutes of the December 11th, 2025 council meeting be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Van Donkersgoed, second by Deputy Mayor Jenkins. Any comments on those minutes? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. And number 5 on page 10 is our RCMP report, and I see Staff Sergeant is here, so welcome to our meeting. Yeah.
Thank you. I can only stand you up once in 2025. My apologies for missing that meeting. That was right after a storm, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I think we changed. I think we had a storm. Yeah, and we changed the date to Wednesday.
My lame joke wasn't recorded, so I'm good. Okay. Thank you for having me. Persons crimes remained consistent with November. We ended December with 18 occurrences. Assault was the most frequent with 7. 3 of those resulted in charges laid or recommended, followed by indecent or harassing communications and uttering threats, both of which had 4 each. There were 2 sexual offenses with charges laid or recommended in 1, and 1 criminal harassment file, which was concluded with charges laid or recommended. Property crime rose slightly in December, increasing to 39 occurrences, up from 34 last month. A single break and enter to a commercial property occurred and concluded with insufficient evidence. And there were 19 mischief occurrences and 7 frauds, followed by theft under $5,000 with 5 of them. We had no drug enforcement occurrences open in December, although I do think that that's incorrect. We did have some drug impaired driving offenses where we seized drugs in those offenses, but they would be primarily scored as a impaired driving offense. And we also had a conviction in court for a northern matter that was pretty significant in December. Traffic occurrences accounted for 145, down from 172 in November. Speeding violations accounted for 32 of those, with 54 other traffic violations. 6 impaired driving occurrences were reported, 4 by alcohol, 1 by drug, and 1 by a combination of both. Of these, one of the alcohol-based occurrences resulted in charges laid or recommended, with another open and still under investigation, and each drug and alcohol occurrences are open and still under investigation. There were no fatal collisions in December, and 8 check stops were documented. Overall, 360 occurrences were recorded, and while I say this is higher than last month and at this time last year, it's pretty consistent. There was 355 and 356 respectively for the call volumes. Policing initiatives. In December, Kings RCMP responded with the student resource officer in Southern Kings to investigate a threats file that extended over 2 different schools and 3 students, and another assault in a separate occurrence involving separate individuals. Kings also investigated a school lockdown in North Kings where an arrest was made for an individual causing concern to students and staff. The individual was also investigated for impaired driving and held in custody. The school lockdown proved successful until the subject was arrested. We were quite happy with that. We plan each year with the schools to make sure that they have a safe lockdown process in place, and we're happy to report that it was successful when it was implemented. Kings RCMP also engaged in a search for an individual unlawfully at large in St. Peters who had cut his ankle monitor but was later located, arrested, and held in custody. In Uig, Kings RCMP entered into a search for a missing person using a drone and police dog in addition to ground search efforts to locate them. And we also responded to an impaired vehicle collision in Mount Mellick with a young passenger in the vehicle, although no injuries occurred. 2 subjects were convicted and received jail on impaired driving offenses, 1 alcohol and 1 cocaine in the head of Cardigan and in Surrey respectively, and a shoplifting conviction in Montague also resulted in jail. A male in Surrey was convicted of drug trafficking and is awaiting sentencing, while the individual reported last month causing mischief to the Georgetown courthouse was sentenced to jail. Disqualified drivers were located in Montague, Milltown, Victoria Cross, Wood Islands, Cardigan, Morel, and Fortune Bridge. And King's members also conducted 2 targeted checks and partnered with electronic monitoring to confirm compliance in Panmure Island, Montague, Brudenell, and Murray Harbor. Finally, we made time to attend community events in Bridgetown, Montague, Murray River, Georgetown, and Surrey, in addition to delivering radar training to 2 new members. Traffic. Did I hear something? Okay. Traffic enforcement. Check stops were completed in Bridgetown, Baldwin's Road, Victoria Cross, St. Mary's Road, Morel, Green Meadows, Bridgetown again, Surrey, Cardross, Cardigan, New Perth. Over 500 vehicles were checked. Summary offense tickets and warnings were issued, and no detection of impaired driving occurred during those check stops. We also did selective enforcement enforcement program. December 6th, Main Street, Montague. We checked it for distracted driving, cell phones. December 7th, Route 318, St. Mary's Road. We did a check stop conducted near a investigation of a target of interest, a person of interest. 2 warnings were issued. That should be an area of interest. December 12th, Route 24 in Caledonia, general traffic enforcement. Verbal warning was issued with headlights during nighttime hours, with headlights off during nighttime hours. And December 28th, Main Street, Montague, stationary radar enforcement, where we observed no violators. We also had the provincial traffic unit conduct 10 traffic patrols to 3 Rivers in December and 11 to Surrey. And I've also included a chart and a graph, and of course the monthly breakdown of the tickets that were issued, with speeding always being number 1. That always seems to be our highest infraction on the highway. And we issued 40 warnings as well. With respect to 3 Rivers specifically, I noted that mischief and collisions were the leaders of our files. Mischief is kind of all-encompassing. We call mischief damage to property, but it's not necessarily. Sometimes it's interfering with people's use of their property, so it's like an unwanted guest or a trespass. So I would say out of the 16 mischiefs, some of those are property damage and some are interfering with property enjoyment. We have 13 collisions, which is not uncommon for the weather and the time of the year. And we had 7 Mental Health Act files. Overall, we had 240 files in 3 Rivers. That's just under, it's just about 2/3 of all the files in Southern Kings. So. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to thank your officers for faithfully attending the Crib Club in Georgetown.
Oh, thank you.
And
I
you've
saw that
got
on the
some
news. It's terrific.
TV compass time there as well. It's always an interesting morning. And yeah, your stops are, I got stopped Saturday night coming from Charlottetown at the bottom of the Bells Hill. So you're continuing your checks right into 2026. So great. I didn't get any fines. I was good. Okay, Alan, you have a question?
Yeah, thanks for your report. Recently, I've had some residents, once again, I brought this up several times, the traffic at Tim Hortons on Main Street,
Yes.
parking on the road. What do we need to do as a municipality and as the RCMP to correct this problem?
I'd say we can have a conversation about that maybe during business hours. and
Okay.
then- But we have lots of partners there to communicate with the
Okay,
property.
so can you reach out to the CAO or someone in the
Sure,
department?
I can
And
do that right away, yeah.
This has been an ongoing issue for years. It's not an overnight thing, and I think it really needs to be addressed. Municipality's been looking for traffic studies from the province, and I think we need to start ourselves by doing something with that issue right there, and
Yeah.
it has to be dealt with.
And then I would ask, where's the Tim Hortons in this?
Yeah.
They need to be part of the solution as well, if they're drawing all the traffic in there, so.
Yeah, they're benefiting from the traffic. Okay, Wayne?
Yeah, great report as always. 49 false alarms and 23 to the same place. After, what was that, power outage or was
Yeah,
it?
or the wind, or the high weathers. So we do have policy, we do look, like when we get notified of alarms, well, if it's a one-hit alarm, we usually rely on the key holders to go and address those. If we're concerned about it, if it's a high crime area, or if there's more information that comes in, like multiple alarms, zone alarms, or glass breaks, then we attend. But we're not always attending every single alarm. It's,
So you're saying you actually attended 49 times?
no, we don't attend every alarm.
Oh,
No.
so out of 23, how many would you attend,
Oh, I don't know, I'd have to look that up,
right?
yeah. I would have to go and look that number
I
up.
think after 10, I might be going nuts myself, but.
Yeah, we're well aware of the repeat ones, and, you know, we typically, when they come in, we'll get reports from our OCC that says that we've had 22 this current month, right? So it just alerts us to it's likely a false alarm, and 99.9% of our alarms that we receive are deemed false. Right.
Anyways, once again, thanks for keeping everybody safe on our highways and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to attend our meetings.
Thank you.
Do one more.
Sorry.
I didn't have the red light on fast enough. Are you seeing any thefts of license plates? We were cautioned a while ago about,
Yeah, we do get them. I
Yeah.
don't, off the top of my head, I don't have any in front of me, but we do get them, and that does happen. And
but nothing on an increased manner
no,
lately?
not any more than we normally experience.
Okay. And scams are always,
We're always
you get lots of them.
be vigilant, yeah. So I would expect a lot of the scams don't get reported directly to us.
Yeah.
Most people, like, I get them on a regular basis through my email and from phone calls, and I just end them, right? We do take new ones and we report them to our phone busters, or our national program. And then if there's something locally that we're able to work on, we'll chase the thread as far as we can chase it. Sometimes we have success, sometimes we don't. But we always encourage people to call us on that. And we encourage anybody who might, especially business owners, when they see somebody paying, let's say, in iTunes cards, that they would strongly caution them that this could be a scam. So.
Thank you.
Sorry, Cody, I guess I was gonna send you away early.
I got it. I guess, well, I'm sitting here looking at the guest speakers. We do have a speaker here one tonight talking about retail crimes. I don't know if you know Mr. Frank Dort there behind. He owns one of the stores in the mall, I believe, but maybe he might want to touch base with you, Frank. That's our staff surgeon. If, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, that's a guy that would definitely be able to help you. But
Yeah, well, Frank is going to speak here shortly, and, yeah, we can put him in touch with you.
I think I'll just invite you to just give me a call tomorrow if you have
Yeah,
any. Perfect.
Okay.
Mike, Robin. And just have them on you. Terrific.
anybody else? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now is our time for presentations and delegations. Each speaker is asked to keep their presentation to 5 minutes. And the first one we have is Charlie Hicken, and Mr. Hicken's going to talk about affordable housing. Turn the mic on there, Charlie. Yep, okay, great. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, Charlie Hicken. I wish to speak to you tonight about affordable housing. Back in August 2025, the siting of 2 mobile homes was not approved at Planning Board due to conflicts with development bylaws, but were subsequently approved by the Council. At the November 27th Planning Board meeting, the siting of 2 more mobile homes was also not approved by the Planning Board. A number of the members of the Planning Board expressed their frustration with the fact that they were caught between a rock and a hard place. Against their best judgment, they must follow the bylaws as written, and no attempt has been made to change these rules. The chairperson made the following statement at that time. We haven't moved ahead with bylaw changes. Council is not ready to propose any more changes until we can deal with those proposed last year. On August the 27th, I was refused permission to speak at Planning Board on this topic. I was told that Council, Planning Board, and staff were already working on this issue. Obviously, one of these statements is not true. Stephen Myers stated publicly back in August that he would sign off on changes to the mobile home bylaw. Instead of bad-mouthing the minister in the media, I feel it would be much more productive to sit down with the minister and try to come to a compromise on the issues around the bylaws and amendments. The people you are hurting are the residents of Three Rivers, who desperately need safe and affordable housing, are being denied the same by your actions. We have 2 more applications before Council this evening from a local contractor wishing to develop affordable housing in our community, who has stated rent on these homes would be in the $1,000 per month range. These homes are completely renovated and upgraded. They are on 1-acre lots with plenty of space for septic and well. I fully support these applications and hope you will see the benefit to Three Rivers residents in improving them also. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Hicken?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, our second speaker is Frank DeWart. And Mr. DeWart wants to speak on retail crime. Go ahead.
Madam Mayor and Member of Council, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak today on the issues that is rapidly becoming a serious threat to our local economy, the rise in retail and business crime, and the growing gap in law enforcement response. Over the past year, many business owners in our community have experienced escalating theft, property damage, repeat offenders, returning day after day. These crimes are not only costly, they're becoming increasingly brazen. Yet, because the RCMP does not respond to incidents below a certain dollar threshold, many of these crimes effectively goes unaddressed. For small business, this threshold creates a dangerous blind spot. While a single theft under that limit may not seem significant on paper, the cumulative impact is dramatic. So $100 or $200 repeated dozens of times each month becomes thousands of dollars in shrinkage for a single retailer. Small business operating on tight margin that could be the difference between hiring an employee or cutting hours, between staying open or closing their doors. But the financial cost is only part of the story. When there's little to no consequences for low-level theft or vandalism, offenders quickly learn that these crimes carry minimal risk. This emboldens repeat behavior and creates unsafe atmosphere for staff, customer, neighboring businesses. Employees report being threatened or harassed. Owners feels abandoned. And resident begins to lose confidence in the safety of their own community. We all understand that the RCMP faces resources challenges, and we respect the difficult decision they must make. But the unintended message been sent is that small crime don't matter, even though they matter enormously to those who bear the weight of them every day. So what I'm asking council, I don't know if you're aware of, but I just pulled some statistic based on recent 2024 data. The town of Montague has the highest crime overall in the severity index above Summerside. So it's Montague, Summerside, Charlottetown, Kingston, and the one the lowest is actually Cornwall. So Montague is 131, Summerside is 125, and Cornwall is about 48. What I'm asking council to consider some action here, advocate for a revised response model with law enforcement. Sounds like I'm invited to speak to the officer tomorrow on this. One that support timely intervention for repeated offender and patterns of crime, even when individual incident falls below the traditional monetary threshold. There's only 2 charges in the criminal code, theft above 5,000 and theft under. So when the RCMP do ask me, what's the dollar amount? I just said it's under $5,000. And they're a little annoyed that I won't actually give them an actual money amount. And I can't because I don't even know what else they have on their person because I'm not allowed to search. The second thing is maybe support local business crime prevention programs such as a shared camera network if we have, real-time reporting tools, or a community safety officer that could respond when RCMP cannot, to have a third party that we could rely on. The theft are becoming more violent. I've noticed a trend. Things have changed. We get a lot, before it was just common people. Now it's mostly people who are addicted and their lifestyle. And they're violent. I'm 60 plus years old and I have to fight 25-year-old. And, it's disheartening that we have very little support from the community, and the business community is actually, I've talked to several business, I've talked to Loblaw, Christmas Discounter, several business in the mall, and we're all kind of feeling this pressure. So it's just not me complaining, this is an actual issue. I've been in places in also where we started other programs called the Cooperative Policing Program, and we do all the paperwork for the police work, and it just speed things up for them, and we're trained to do that. So anyway, there's lots of option. It's something that the town needs to be aware, because if we don't address this issue, I'm afraid that things could go south pretty quick. Thank you.
Questions? I didn't realize that the RCMP had any threshold for before they investigated a theft. I had no idea they had any policy like that. The town does pay for an additional RCMP officer out of our budget every year for one additional officer for our area. So there is always that one officer that wouldn't be here if we didn't provide that funding. But any other questions for? Go ahead, Wayne. You want to turn on your mic?
Well, I agree with Frank. I mean, it's pretty bad that, it's his business and he's got to basically defend his business with his own knuckles, and it seems like our police aren't doing nothing about it.
Yeah, I even had video footage of me into an altercation, and the person who wasn't even in charge with assault, which I thought that should have been the higher charge, is the assault for sure.
So I find that very disturbing, right? Like,
Yeah, I'll show that to the officer tomorrow.
like I said, or Frank said before, like, whether it's a stick of gum or whatever, it's still theft under 5,000, so, you know, how do we get our police force to say what's really important, because theft is theft, so. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm
pretty
not,
sad.
I'm not aware of the policy, so I can't,
Yeah.
speak, yeah.
It's gonna be an
Yeah.
internal policy.
Yeah.
It's not a criminal code policy. The criminal code's quite clear on that, so
So you'll speak with the sergeant,
I will speak with the sergeant tomorrow.
okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
And maybe you can give the CAO an update on
How
what
the
you've
conversation
discussed?
went, so-
Yep. You'll be talking to him, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Next, we have Mary and Chris Murmas, and, they wanna, talk regarding a PID on the Wim Road, so we'll ask them come to the, podium, and, we have 5 minutes, and just tell us who you are, Mary, so just so we can, so it's on our recording.
All right, Mary and Chris Murmas, Baldwin Road. Okay, the presentation was written for December 18th, 2025. If anything has changed since then, we are not aware of it, just to let you know we had it basically done. So our thoughts. In Kilmuir, on the western end of the Wim Road, there is a 50-acre parcel of woodland. It is in an area zoned agriculture. This was discussed at the Planning Board meeting November 27, 2025. So property ID 24483 must be pretty important considering all the interest displayed in it. Aranya Hotel Investment and Management Limited applied to the LPA for commercial use. Executive Council denied it on Thursday, the 19th of 2024. If this company sounds familiar, you are not mistaken. This company owns 3.21 acres, PID 1113430, where? Go past the pool and past White's Fabrication, it's the next property. The neighbor on the other side is a property owned by Hopetown Development Company Limited. The next interest was by Leguan Lee, a non-resident who also applied to the LPA for commercial use. Executive Council denied the request on Thursday, the 19th of 2024. Lee is a shareholder of Aranya Hotel Investment and Management. The next interest was by Cutting Edge Enterprises, Inc. for subdivision of lots. Application dated November 28, 2024. This company is Matt Llewellyn's company. Application was withdrawn before a decision was given. Then GeoLink shows Matthew Llewellyn owning the property a couple of months later, January 16, 2025. About a year ago, we reported to Lee Kennable that an excavator was making a road along the western edge of the property. He verified that no development permit had been requested and that a bylaw officer would go and check the situation. After that, he would not tell us anything since it was being investigated. Okay. However, we feel the property should have been flagged to see if anything else was happening. Was that done? We know you as Three Rivers Planning Board and Council do not control land sales, but you do control zoning, subdivision approvals, and permits. In that way, you control land sales indirectly. So our point, Matthew Llewellyn has a subdivision permit for 4 lots in an agricultural zone. Our understanding is that it was for single-family units. After our presentation, could someone from the planning staff explain the rules regarding subdivision in an agricultural zone? Including how many lots could we potentially see on this parcel? I, Mary, was told that some farmers wanted the right to subdivide land. It might save them from losing the farm. So our question for Mr. Llewellyn, correct us if we're wrong, are you a farmer or are you planning to farm? After the presentation, could someone from the planning staff inform us how the government's enact to amend the Planning Act, Bill number 100, protection of arable land, how that affects decisions made by the Planning Board and Council? Regarding rental rates, 2,900 was mentioned to compare. The new apartment building on Brook Street is advising residential units starting at 2,150 and inside parking. Would that have been nice the last few weeks to have a vehicle in the garage and not to have to take the snow off again, like today? The apartments behind the old hospital and Tim Hortons were advertised for $1,350. Lack of housing is a concern. Matt Llewellyn cannot control the use of empty houses in the area. Maybe you can answer. Is that something the provincial government should be dealing with? These are our thoughts on the matter. So,
Just, you'll have to direct your questions to me, Mary.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, what's your first question? It's a lot to follow.
yeah, I did speak with Lee
Yeah.
and Patrick just in the office one
Okay.
time. So I would just like to have more clarification, more detail. How many lots are you allowed to have on agricultural land? They were talking about the roadway, so I don't remember everything they said, and I would just get them to say some more details and clarify it. Because they were talking about 5 lots, and then what do you need? Because Matt Llewellyn has asked for 4, and then they were talking to me about a certain road, and then you needed more for later. So I just want to know, on this 50-acre parcel, what's the potential for how many lots would be allowed?
Did anybody want to address that at this time, or would you rather get the information and get back to them? You want to get back to them? Okay.
We'll respond to the
Yeah.
witnesses directly.
Yeah, okay.
Because it also, it affects
Yeah.
all agricultural land.
Yep.
And we have some more people who are interested, like what's allowed on agricultural land?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So
you
who's
want
getting
to.
back to me? Who's
Do you
getting
want to, do you want to pass your, do you have something written there, Mary, that we can
my
have?
notes?
Yeah, can you email Lee something just so we don't miss your points?
Yep.
I guess we can take.
Yeah,
it.
I'll
Yeah.
send them that part.
Yeah, if you can send that to
But we
Lee.
already discussed it briefly.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And then the next question from the planning staff, or maybe somebody else. The government's an act to amend the Planning Act, Bill number 100, still not law. How is that going to affect decisions made by you once this comes in for arable land?
But it's not, we can't address, well, it's not in effect yet.
Yeah.
But we've let you have your 5 minutes.
Yeah, we
If you
did.
want to address those questions to planning, to Danielle, she's the manager. Danielle will get back to you.
Okay, and then the last question, because we talked our 5 minutes, but you're asking the questions now. The empty houses in the area, is that something somebody in provincial government should be looking at?
If you want to send it, like I said, if you can send your questions in, we'll have somebody get back to you.
Danielle?
Okay, Danielle, we'll get back to you.
Okay, all right, yep.
Okay, thank you. I believe we have one more speaker, which is Matt Llewellyn, and you want to speak about your Wim Road variance application. Okay.
Thank you, councillors. My name is Matt Llewellyn from Clyde River. I'm here today requesting a variance to allow 2 mobile homes in my new subdivision. I want to be clear, they're not traditional mobile homes at this point. They've been fully renovated. They now closely resemble what would be a mini home, which would be permitted in this application. Both homes, they have brand new gable roofs, steel roofs. All the new siding and windows have been all redone. Heat pumps added. We added new insulation behind the new siding. The axles have been removed. The hitches will be removed if we get granted. There's no sheet metal siding. It's all brand new vinyl. Once the skirting is installed around these, there virtually will be no difference between these homes and, say, a new mini home. My question to the council would be, what harms do these homes pose on our community? There are many homes in Three Rivers that are in far worse condition than these. These units are essentially new now. We've pretty well renovated them extensively. Because I was able to purchase the older mobile homes and renovate them affordably myself, I can provide a clean, safe, and affordable home to individuals. I've completed similar projects across Kings County without any issues, including 4 units that we renovated in Three Rivers prior to the bylaw change. My rents typically range around $1,000 a month. I try to attract long-term tenants so that I'm not having to go through tenants. I had already selected 2 tenants for the houses back when these get moved. I had permission to share this info from these people. One's a young couple. They don't live in Three Rivers, but they have 2 children. They're living in a studio apartment, and they're paying an extra $355 a month compared to what I was going to be charging them a month. So that's 4 people in a studio apartment. That's crazy. The second would be a 73-year-old woman. She's paying $400 more a month, and she's on the 3rd floor climbing 39 steps every single day to her apartment. She has a dog. It was the only place that she could get friendly for this. I allow pets. You get your own yard and everything in this scenario. Both tenants were devastated when I told them that the homes could be denied or delayed. Unfortunately, that's just the current housing crisis on PEI right now. I fully acknowledge my mistake in not reviewing the Three Rivers bylaw and proceeding before permits were finalized. 100% my mistake. The moving company kind of gave me a choice whether I wanted to get it done then or wait until the spring. I should have waited. But anyway, I'm definitely here to acknowledge my mistake on that. Housing, especially affordable housing, must be top priority for government and municipalities. There just simply is not enough affordable housing right now and available. I receive no government funding for doing these affordable homes. I simply like providing an affordable space to good working people. At the end of the day, I know that I renovate these myself. I can save the money. I'm not looking to be greedy. I just want a good tenant and a good place for them to live. My family and I are deeply invested in Three Rivers. I own 8 rentals within Three Rivers, and then my father and I build new homes, so we're building potentially 13 new homes this year within Three Rivers. We choose to invest in this community because it's amazing. We love the people around, and we get great reviews on people that are buying our new properties because they like the town. But if this isn't considered, I really have to reconsider future development plans around here and maybe shift elsewhere. I will close this by just confirming that you guys did allow 2 other mobile homes variances, 23 Lauren Valley Road and then 841 Rim Road. I respectfully ask for the same consideration. You know, at the end of the day, I totally understand. I have no more plans on developing this parcel whatsoever, just so everybody knows that. The 4 lots is it. That's, I'm not going into all the extras that need to be done for anything over that. So there's no other plans on more lots in that, on that parcel, just so everybody knows. And then, like I said, I think denying these is only hurting the residents and tenants, and without creating more places to rent, affordable or not, but obviously in my case they are going to be affordable, it's just going to increase demand for rentals and continue to have rents out of control, and people need help with this, so trying to help with it the best I can. So that's everything.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt from council? No? Go ahead, Wayne.
Well, I tip my hat to Matt for admitting he made a drastic mistake. Put the cart before the horse, is the old saying. I seen the renovations he has done. I seen where other renovations he's done out in Victoria Cross, and they look great. Most of all, it's once again affordable housing. The dollars are pretty tight for everybody these days, and I think that he was man enough to say that he made a mistake, that we make a change to make this happen for him.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, oh, go ahead, Cody.
Did you subdivide the land?
Yes, I did, yeah, personally, yeah. I had made an application through my company, it's just for business purposes, but they didn't want.
Whoever owner of the
Yeah,
property, you guys,
exactly.
it was you bought it, subdivided it.
Yeah.
But then didn't submit the permits to
For-
move the homes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, I had the permits in, and it was not even reviewed, I don't think, yet, before I got them moved. And like I say, it was totally my fault. I totally, like I said, the mover, there's one specific mover that can move these efficiently and affordably, and they pretty well gave me the, you want it now, then come do it, and if not, it'll be next year. So, and at the end of the day, I should have definitely done that, but.
So you've got a road in, looks like you have a driveway in, homes mounted, gravel under them.
Yep.
Is the septic and water in?
Septic and water's on, and I halted as soon as Lee dropped off the notices. I didn't do any further. Yeah, I fully.
We're at that stage.
Yeah, I didn't even, there's no power yet to them either, but, like I say, they're all winterized, before they get moved, they get winterized and everything, so there's no worry about broken pipes or anything, but essentially, if we get approved, we're gonna go right to it, get them all done up nicely, get them ready to go. Septic, unfortunately, I'll have to wait until the spring, because they're closed at this point, you can't do septics this time of year, but other than that, we're gonna go full speed ahead if we get granted, and get some people into these homes, so.
The road coming in, is it gonna be a private road or you'll?
Private road fully maintained by us, so, and like I said, there's no road frontage lots on this, so nobody's really, it's treed along the road anyway, you don't really even see, you can see, but, because the driveway has an opening, of course, but, you know, they're not ugly looking homes, they really aren't, as you've probably seen in the pictures, they're not falling apart, like some people would think of a mobile home, unfortunately, so, we retrofit them 100%, so.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to 7, and on 21 is my mayor's end of the year report. I'll go over some of that. Sorry. Okay, so this is a year-end report that the mayor usually does every year. Look back in the past year in Three Rivers, I'm filled with gratitude for the people, partnerships, and community spirit that make our municipality such a special place to call home. It has been a year marked by progress, collaboration, and countless moments that highlight the strength and resilience of our residents. And I'm glad to hear Matt say that he's had people that want to move here because they like our town, so that's our municipality, so that's great. Our business community has had a strong year, from regular meetings with our Economic Development Committee, excuse me, to a highly successful Small Business Week that showcased more than 80 local businesses. It's clear that entrepreneurship and innovation continue to thrive in Three Rivers. Attending the National Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference in Ottawa also provided valuable opportunities to learn from other municipalities and bring new ideas home. Infrastructure improvements were another major focus. The long-awaited sidewalks on Queens Road and Queens Road Extension were completed, improving the safety for pedestrians. For the first time, we had e-bike rentals available in Montague Marina, Georgetown, Visitor Center, and Cardigan throughout the summer months. The sewer and water extension project continued to move forward, and although provincial construction on Main Street and Robertson Road caused delays, we know that these upgrades will benefit the community for years to come. Throughout the year, our staff worked tirelessly preparing ball fields, maintaining parks, managing marinas, and transitioning arenas between seasons. Of course, no year in Three Rivers would be complete without our festivals that bring our community together. Winterval, Canada Day in Cardigan, Georgetown Summer Days, and the Montague Arts and Cultural Festival and Diverse City, and so many other events were incredibly well attended. I'm grateful to the volunteer staff and community groups who pour their hearts into making these celebrations possible. Whether it was passing out parade prizes, greeting visitors, or enjoying fireworks with residents, these moments truly showcase the spirit we have here in Three Rivers. I also had the privilege of spending time with students and youth throughout the year, from the Crib Club at Georgetown Elementary to the multiple career Bridges graduation. These interactions are always a highlight to me. They remind me how important it is to support programs that help young people to learn and grow and find opportunities close to home. The career Bridges, it's amazing how many people I've met that when I go to some businesses that those people are working there now, so that's a really positive thing to see. We also took time to honor and remember important members of our community. The loss of Fire Chief Tony Vandenbroek was deeply felt across Three Rivers. His 42 years of service and leadership left a lasting legacy. We also thanked Councillor John Van Dyke for his dedicated service following his resignation, as well as congratulating Councillor Martina McDonald on her retirement after 17 years at CBDC. She played a vital role in the advancing economic development in Eastern Kings, and we thank her sincerely for her service. Moments like these remind us of the impact individuals can have on their community. Throughout the year, I continue to attend meetings, training sessions, and community events, always with the goal of bringing information back to council and ensuring residents' voices are heard. I remain in town hall most days, and I appreciate every conversation, whether in person, by phone, or through mail. Your feedback, ideas, and concerns help guide our work and shape the future of Three Rivers. As we move into a new year, I'm proud of what we've accomplished together and excited for what lies ahead. Thank you to everyone who contributed to make this year a success, our staff, council, volunteers, community partners, and residents. Three Rivers is stronger because of you. Warm regards, your mayor. Okay. We'll turn it over to John now for the CAO report.
Thanks, Your Worship. Just a couple of comments on my report that's in your package and in the meeting agenda package. Again, as we begin 2026, I'd like to extend my best wishes to staff, council, residents of Three Rivers for a great, healthy and successful year ahead. I'd also like to thank council, staff, and the community for the support and collaboration shown throughout 2025, as you indicated in your report. Under the financial report, our update as part of our development of our 26-27 operating budget. Again, we heard earlier tonight some recommendations from residents that we'll be looking at over the next couple of months as we develop our budget. We had a great staff meeting today, and we're very close to having an operational budget that we'll bring to council for over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll start working on capital. So start thinking about your priorities as we move forward. Again, you'll see in our financial report in this meeting package, we're in a very strong position. I think it's showing about a $404,000 surplus to date for the year, and much of that has been reinvested in capital items and down payments. So we're in a very strong financial position, and we continue to keep an eye on our revenue and expenses. In terms of human resources, I want to thank town staff again for the dedication and hard work throughout 2025. Our team continues to demonstrate professionalism, resilience, and a strong commitment to serving the residents of Three Rivers. And over the holidays, while many of our office staff had a bit of a break, I offer a special thanks to public works staff who have to work throughout the holiday season. They make sure that snow removal is done and our essential maintenance continue, and that water and sewer operations remain safe and reliable. So great thanks to them. We are continuing to work toward the development of a collective agreement between CUPE and the town, with negotiations scheduled for February 7th and again March 2nd and 3rd, 2026. A little update on the code of conduct complaints. Pleased to report that the town has retained an independent third-party investigator to review the code of conduct complaints that have been submitted. After considerable effort to secure an investigator with appropriate experience and independence, we've engaged Wendy McIntyre to conduct the review. Ms. McIntyre has previously investigated code of conduct complaints for other municipalities and brings the relevant experience and objectivity to the process. I included her scope of work in your package, so you'll see what she will do. As you can imagine, this professional work doesn't come without some costs, and the estimated cost to complete this work is roughly $15,000. The fee will fall under our professional services line in the 25-26 current budget. Throughout the investigation, all confidential notes and other sensitive information will be retained by the investigator to ensure confidentiality to the extent that is reasonably possible. This appointment represents an important step toward ensuring the complaints are reviewed in a fair, independent, and thorough manner, consistent with the town's commitment to accountability, transparency, and due process. And again, over the other parts of the work, we continue to meet with residents and meet with council and carry on the business of council. So that's a brief update on from my end. If there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to respond.
Any questions for John? Okay. 7.3 is the development permit report on page 25, and it's as written. Even this time of year, we have staff are still busy issuing permits. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to page 26, which is the planning board statistic summary, and I'll ask Lee to give us a bit of a presentation on that, if you like?
Thank you, Worship. As you can see, we have continued our long-standing tradition of a few years now of doing an end-of-year summary for you. This is the early summary, which gives you a bit of an indication of what we received last year, the application intake. We've added a little bit more details on when those cases are received, and we're trying to correlate that to how fast they're able to be processed. You can see through the graphics that we have a very large influx of applications early in what we call the building season, and it takes a little while to address all those, so the determination times get a little higher. But as we start to pick up momentum, we clear those out and we can turn things over faster toward the end of the summer. So our applications are actually down this year. We're down to 220, which is still very respectable given the many previous years we've reported on. And what we're particularly proud of this year is the value of construction figures. I think $60 million worth of development coming through this town in one calendar year is amazing. It does reflect that there's a desire to live, work, and develop here. Now that's 60 million based on those applications that we can report on, because we don't tend to see a value of construction when you're looking at subdivisions. And you'll note from the statistics, subdivisions are a significant part of that workload as well. But they have the effect of teeing up land availability for development, so that feeds into next year's work. So there's a continuing cycle there. And so the mix of developments, we're always focused on residential. You can see 171 of those applications were related to residential development. Now that would come as multi-unit development, single-unit development, accessory dwellings, and even the humble extension to a home, just to improve living spaces. So we see all kinds. We've bundled them up into 171 residential related, and commercial has a strong showing as well. When I first started at the town of Three Rivers, we didn't have any commercial applications to report on. Consistently year after year after year now, we're seeing that economic growth. So we're really pleased to be able to report these, and probably top it off with dismissed IRAC appeal. So we had 2 last year. We don't tend to see a lot of appeals, even though we have quite a high turnover of cases. I'd attribute that to fair soundness of decision making, and IRAC have said no valid appeal to be made on one appeal, and we're just awaiting a decision now, which I expect probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll find out what's the outcome of the other. So thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, councillors. Hope you appreciated the reading. It's great news.
Thank you very much, Lee. It certainly is impressive with the dollar value of the construction is certainly more than I've ever seen in my time as mayor, so that's very impressive. Questions for Lee on the report? Any questions, comments? Yep. Okay, if there's nothing else for Lee, we'll move on to 7.4 on page 30. We'll start with 7.4.1. I'll turn that over to Ann, Chair of Planning.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. All right. So this is development application 164.25 DEP at 4006 Greenfield Road. This application concerns the enlargement of an accessory building that supports extraction of aggregates on site. The proposed extension of the permitted building includes a new office space and employee facilities in support of the heavy industrial activity at the site. The building is now regarded a main industrial building for the purposes of Part 5.14F of the Development Bylaw. The extension of the existing building raises no concerns regarding either the scale of the proposal or its impact. The heavy industrial zone allows for a wide range of activities, as well as providing for more than one main building in support of that use. This building will provide office and staff welfare facilities and support an existing business within the town, and the planning staff raises no concerns. Therefore, the town of Three Rivers Planning Board recommends to council to approve the following motion. The amendment to enlarge and add office and welfare facilities to a 3,200 square foot building located at 4006 Greenfield Road, PID 11125664. Condition 1 is the plans A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, and A7.
Okay, you've heard the motion. I need a mover and a seconder, please.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Alan, seconded by Councilor John. Any discussion on that motion?
Meets all the conditions? Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, that motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on to page 54, 7.4.2, and I'll turn it over to Ann.
Okay, so this is the development application 194.25 DEP Wim Road. Although the application responds to the current need for additional housing, the siting of mobile homes is governed by specific policies within the Town of Three Rivers Official Plan and Development Bylaw. The official plan restricts new mobile home development to residential mobile home zones established within settlement areas, in addition to meeting central servicing requirements which this site cannot achieve. In addition to the official plan conflict, the development bylaw explicitly limits the siting of mobile homes to the residential mobile home zone only. The bylaw does not include mobile homes as either a permitted or special permit use in the agricultural zone. With the servicing constraints and the restricted zoning in place, only a change to the content of the official plan and development bylaw would allow the unit to be lawfully permitted, providing favorable amendments were made to both development plan documents. Given those conflicts with both the official plan and the development bylaw, the Planning and Development Officer recommends that the application be refused. Therefore, the Town of Three Rivers Planning Board recommend to council to refuse the following motion: the siting of a mobile home at Lot 1, Wim Road, PID 244483. The refused plans are the application form and drawings received October 27th, 2025, and the site plan received November 5th, 2025.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation from the planning board. It is to refuse the following motion, so to refuse the motion, so I need a mover and a seconder for that motion from planning board. Okay. Second by Cody. Discussion? Go ahead, Councilor McFarland.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just for clarity, from Lee, if you would, we do have a subdivision plan, or an application for subdivision. Okay, for 4 units, or four parcels. There is no sewer and water application yet? Okay. All right. And it's against the official plan and the bylaw? Yeah. Nothing's being recorded.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, it is against both documents.
Yeah. So that's the holdup.
That is the difficulty. There's no flexibility in that interpretation. It's quite clear on that, as with the report, so the recommendation is a refusal.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Cody, go ahead.
I have a couple.
Yep.
Because I don't remember, the two other that was referenced tonight, the other one on the Wim Road, was that a mini home or a mobile home?
Go ahead,
Mobile
Lee.
homes.
They were mobile homes?
May I speak to?
Whoever's the answer.
Yeah, go ahead, Ann.
So mobile homes, but they, those sites previously had mobile homes on them, and they had, it had been there previous, and they had their water and sewer were available to them. But there were sites where there was previously a mobile home.
Were they non-conforming then when they were approved, or were they just, it was done before they were even in municipality, so it doesn't matter?
It was before, they were, existed before the official plan and bylaws.
Right. Yeah, and then if we look at a definition of a mobile home, its own, right, manufactured to be transported in its own chassis. Did they remove, like,
The wheels are.
this one, the wheels were removed. I don't know if the other ones were wheels removed. I don't know if we even discussed that. The subdivision was done. Our problem, two problems with this one is it doesn't meet, but we did have set precedents where they haven't met. The other one was they were moved and done before a permit was submitted. Or not submitted, but approved. And before, it was also recommended from planning board and planning staff to refuse the other two, correct? Okay.
Okay, Ann?
Go.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I think this is it's a difficult situation, and to address a concern that was brought up previously, we did as planning board and as council, we've said this is something that we would like to revisit as far as a change to the bylaw. The problem with changing the bylaw right now is we do have an application before the minister to change the bylaws, and nothing has happened with it. There's not really much appetite to apply for any further changes until we get a refusal or an approval of the changes we've already submitted. So it's kind of, but this is a difficult situation for me because you all know around this table that I'm in favor of housing, but I'm also, we need to be following the bylaws that we have in place until we are in a position to have cooperation with government to change the bylaws.
Okay, Wayne?
Since the minister has never officially signed anything, yes, I guess we're on our own, but the young gentleman admitted that he made a mistake. It's not like he's putting 2 old wrecks of homes on the property or whatever. It's affordable. I think either we hold off and have more discussion on this, but I think since he was a man, he admitted he made a mistake, and we should give him a chance and let it go.
John, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Dan.
I'll just be brief. Do you think there would be any appetite at the ministerial level to deal with just this amendment at any time? I know it's not, perhaps not fair, certainly not fair to this municipality after all the work we've gone through over the other ones. But I'm sure this is not going to be the last time we visit this exact same topic this year. At least we could chip away with this problem. Do you think that'll be any sense sending that away?
I couldn't answer that question. Yeah, that'd be a question, I guess, for the minister. Danielle, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. It would also require an amendment to our official plan as well, which is a greater process. So it would be both documents that would need amending. In further to Councillor Spin's comments about just what he had mentioned, if we do, or if council does vote against their own bylaws, it does open us up to an appeal process through IRAC, which would create an expense to the town. And there's probably a good chance that we wouldn't win that appeal because it's against our own bylaws. So I just want to make that clear to council as well, that it does open us up for that appeal process.
Okay, anybody else, or are we finished?
I just want to clarify. The motion is to refuse the application. So voting yes means we are approving to refuse the application.
That is correct. If you vote for this, you're refusing the application. Voting against it will approve it. So,
Okay.
okay? So all in favor of voting for the planning board recommendation, the motion for the planning board recommendation, which is to refuse the application. Okay, against? Okay, it's a 3-2, so I guess the motion is upheld with planning board. Okay,
Okay, so, continue.
yep.
Development application 195.25 DEP Wim Road. Find my spot here. So I'm not going to read the whole first section again because it says exactly the same thing. The motion is, therefore, the Town of Three Rivers Planning Board recommends to council to refuse the following motions. The siting of a mobile home at Lot 2, Wim Road, PID 244483. Refuse plans, application form and drawings received October 27th, 2025, and site plan received November 5th, 2025.
Discussion? So, go ahead, Wayne.
Just once again, it's pretty sad. I think people have a right to live where they want to live, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of the planning board motion? Okay, opposed? Okay, so 3-2, so the motion from the recommendation from planning board is carried. Okay, that ends our planning board report. 7.5 on page 118 is the financial report. If you would like to have a look at it, and we can ask any questions. It's great, as John mentioned, to see us in a good financial position, and yeah, we'll ask Don to give us an update of, or just go over the report.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is as of November 30th, which is the 8th month of the fiscal year. Our revenue to date was $3.2 million. We've exceeded our budget figure by $310,000. And expenses to this point was $2.8 million, and we're below expenses compared to our budget of $183,000. This put us at an operating surplus of $404,000, and after some capital and paying some loan payments, we have a surplus of $58,681.
Questions for Don? Just very pleased to see that coming into the 8th month, or finishing the 8th month, that we're in such a great financial position. So thank you, Don, very much. Nobody, no questions for Don? Okay. We have a report 7.6 from the King's Playhouse. Do we have some? Okay, Bryn. Okay. can-
Thank you very much. Hopefully it's on. Oh, one on.
Yeah, you're
all
on.
good. Perfect. Thank you.
May-
I've met most of you, I think, before, but Bryn Turner, Executive Director from King's Playhouse. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'll keep it brief because I know it's been a long meeting and a long evening, I'm sure. So King's Playhouse continues to serve as a year-round hub for Georgetown and the surrounding Three Rivers communities. These past few months, again, has confirmed how often residents often look to the venue to host important local traditions, public programs, such as the Remembrance Day ceremony and luncheon, which saw over 300 attendees this year. Halloween activities with this year's rainstorm disaster. Was really nice to have a indoor alternative, and we saw nearly 250 children who came through to trick or treat. We were able to work very closely as well with Georgetown Fire right across the street, which was very convenient. And so we had a little bit of a hub where local Georgetown residents also came and handed out candy from our 2 stations. So that was very appreciated by those who came to visit us, which was really fun. We also had our holiday market back again. Lots of vendors from local communities came out to sell some goods. Also a great fundraising opportunity for King's Playhouse. We had a few prizes that brought in some extra money and got some community members through the door for things other than just the high teas and the theater shows that we had run through the summer. And of course, the seniors' holiday dinner was the last event prior to Christmas. We saw about 110, I believe, residents. I know Cindy's down south, lucky her today, but she was definitely spearheading a lot of that, which was really, really helpful for us. As summer season concluded, we shifted our daily operations from more of weekly shows and weekly high teas through to standalone shows, but also wanted to really focus on the community members who aren't necessarily coming out to the bigger theater performances, to make sure they felt welcome and still supported, and made sure that we were continuing to make King's Playhouse open to everyone who wants to use it. Saw a lot of rentals, private rentals, had our one wedding for the season as well in the fall, which was really nice. And so good diversifying of our revenue streams is something that we want to continue into 2026. Our AGM, for the first time, at least in the last few years, was attended by several community members, which was really nice to see. We've gone from 2 board members, voting board members at the beginning of the year, now to 7, which was really nice. So moving into 2026, there will also be a lot of focus and intention put into finalizing the budgets and planning. So they are slightly delayed, sorry again, but they are coming. And per our board's request, John, Dawn, and Danielle will all be joining our board meeting at the end of the month, which is most appreciated. We'll bring many of those new board members up to speed. This obviously being my 6th, 7th month, will be my first budgeting period as well with our board and with King's Playhouse. And so I think starting off the new fiscal year with a good mutual understanding amongst the 2 kind of entities will be really, really beneficial. So there's a few more highlights and notes in there. I don't know if anyone had any questions on the reports. I won't bore you. If there are any follow-up questions as well, I believe my email's at the end if you wanted to shoot over a message for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bryn. Any questions for Bryn? Cody?
Maybe not even so much for you, and maybe it's a conversation with Dorothy. I know there's a door on the back in your thing. Has that door been fixed?
Temporarily, we have an issue where virtually every external door is having a little bit of a difficulty. We find those large glass doors, even if they are unlocked so that someone can pull them open, if high winds are blowing those open and having a nice crashing sound. In the fall, we had one of the other external doors. A band was able to somehow finesse their way in there. And then we also had an issue in later spring into summer where prom students were able to get in a door that we thought was locked. So we are, forgive me in advance, Dorothy, but we're doing a little bit of an audit actually this coming week where Phil Bullpitt, our sound technician who knows the building much better than us, is actually coming through with us as well. We found the furnace pipe is currently disconnected, so we've turned that off as well temporarily. But yeah, kind of bit of a list with some key priorities, including that temporarily fixed door since that was the day of the seniors dinner, so the 20th of December. Since then, I do not know of any other doors kind of opening. All are currently staying locked and closed, thankfully, in the recent
that
weather.
one, the double door at the back on December 20th blew off. So he phoned me, and I just went up and put longer screws in the door. I didn't to put it back on the hinges, but it probably should be looked at by a carpenter. And then the other door going to the kitchen, the actual handle doesn't have any guts in it, so you guys got to deadbolt it to use it, which is probably actually a safety hazard in terms of fire.
I think so, yes.
So we should make a list of who needs to have someone come look at all them doors.
Yes, we did also, I believe it was 8,000, that Three Rivers is also contributing to our security system upgrades. So we do have a quote from the fall as well, which does include pricing for some of those doors to become kind of upgraded as part of that as well. So it would be nice to, be a fulsome kind of overview of all of that and hopefully save some money if there are a few being replaced at once.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that concludes the public part of our meeting. We're now, I need a motion to close the session per MGA section 1191E. Moved by Alan, second by Ann. All in favor? Okay. Okay, the meeting is now open again. And since we don't have any motions to make, I'll ask for an adjournment of tonight's meeting. Okay, moved by Alan, second by Cody. All in favor? Okay, motion